Hi, hello, namaskar everyone. Welcome to Dhwani, which means sound in Hindi. We bring to you resonating sounds created by the actions of women innovators, leaders, experts, and entrepreneurs who are making a difference in their and others' lives. We share their stories to inspire and empower other women. Dhwani is an initiative of Innoberry which is offering a platform for the women to voice their thoughts, struggles, challenges, achievements, highs and lows, and the journey that they have undertaken. I am Pooja Bhatia, a tech transfer, patent licensing, and intellectual property professional, and now your host for this show. Let's inspire and get inspired. Hi, hello, namaskar everyone. India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. There are 105 unicorns and 75,000 DPIIT recognized startups in India. Every system needs a support system to grow. Even the technologies that find no users and market die out. Government support, corporate connections, an increase in the number of investors, incubators, and the Make in India movement has contributed to the growth of the Indian startup ecosystem. Along with these, there are so many individual experts, entrepreneurs, and founders who are also enabling the growth of more startups. In the first series of Dhwani, we have heard three women entrepreneurs in IP who are also providing services to startups, supporting them in their journey of IP generation and protection. This is the second series of Dhwani, where I speak to various women entrepreneurs and experts who are enabling the startup and innovation ecosystem. In our first episode of the second series, we have one such powerful enabler, Dr. Deepika Singh. Dr. Deepika Singh is an advocate, IP practitioner, and a patent agent. Before her IP stint, she was a researcher at the University of Delhi. She is also an IP facilitator for the startups. She is an alumnus of the prestigious Women Scientists C scheme, which is now called as Kiran IPR. She is also on the panel uh, for IPR for some of the universities and institutes, and she was part of the 100 success stories from the Women Scientist scheme, Kiran IPR, compiled by the Department of Science and Technology in March 2021. Welcome, Dr. Singh, to the first episode of the second series. Before Deepika reminds me, I would like to remind you all that the Bar Council of India's rules prohibits lawyers from advertising or soliciting work. This interview is merely for spreading awareness about IPR, government schemes for IPR promotion, and inspiring women to have an active professional life. No part of this interview is an effort to solicit work or advertise in any way. Anything discussed is not legal advice, or you could consider this as a simple discussion between two friends. Thank you, Deepika, for agreeing for this interview, and I'm really happy you could join me. Uh, Briefly walk us through the work that you are currently doing.
Pooja, thank you for having me on your Dhwani show. It's a pleasure to be on the very first episode of Series 2. I'm a legal practitioner into IPR practice. I also help startups and small enterprises with their IP protection. And I'm on the IPR panel for some academic institutions and an incubator.
So you're helping the entire chain from startups to enterprises to academic institutions.
Yes, that's true.
That is wonderful because you're connecting the dots. Deepika, you have pursued your PhD in genetics. I'm curious to know why did you choose IP and no, not go the traditional way and enter into postdoc?
That's a good question, actually. After PhD, like everybody else, I tried for a postdoc position. I was in the US and Canada for some time. I was also married by then, and meanwhile, I was looking for opportunities. So I did get two opportunities in Canada, but with a baby due and no family support, I had to let go of those opportunities. Then those projects were really time bound. They wanted somebody to start right away, and I was not in that position. And my father-in-law passed away soon after. This just happened within a few months. All this happened, and then suddenly life just changed. I just knew that maybe research was not the thing for me. So we came back to India. My baby was very small at that time, and this was 2009. And in 2010, I was selected for the Women Scientists Scholarship Scheme, that is the Kiran IPR program. So that kind of was a resurrection of sorts for me. Then I completed the internship in 2011, and after that I joined law school. So at that time, when I think of those days, it's like one door shut, but another one opened up for me.
Yeah, I can understand. And moreover, in life sciences, the research hours are too long. It isn't that, the experiments complete in a short period of time. They take long time. And
Yes.
especially when you are pregnant, you get tired so easily. And it's not really easy to work in a lab. Hats off to the ladies who do work in lab while they are pregnant. Um, I can't imagine myself to be in that position and, run the experiments. So hats off to them. But yes, I would like to, advise and motivate all the young girls and ladies out there who have, if they have ever missed any opportunity, so they should not fret about it and try to look for more opportunities. As you have correctly said, Deepika, that when one door is shut, many more opportunities may come in any ways, in anyone's ways. So rather than crying over the spilled milk, you should try and look for more opportunities and um, work on those which are better for you. But also that also means that you don't need to ditch all these opportunities that you're coming and keep waiting for something that would work out. uh, but Deepika, coming back to more on your story, can you explain what role are you now playing in the Indian innovation ecosystem?
As an IPR professional, I started out in 2010, but a lot of changes have come up now. A lot of new things are happening. For example, I'm a facilitator for startups under the SIPP government scheme. So here I see so many new ideas, so much of great growth coming up. The startups are coming up with new ideas. They're addressing very specific needs. Example, like environmental concerns, food sector, practical problems in specific industries, diagnostics. Every day they are coming up with something new. So they require a lot of help and facilitation from a lot of different entities, because having an idea is very different, and taking it to culmination is just a completely different ball game. They require help from so many people, their facilitators, incubator cells. They need to find funding opportunities. They're even looking for office spaces. So and many of these founders are still students. Many of them are just in their final year of BTech or something when they're starting out with their startups. And universities and institutes are actually providing very good support to their own alumni in so many ways. This is what
Yeah.
I find.
Yeah, earlier I think the parents would have questioned their children about why do they want to do a startup, but now uh, with the passing time, with lot of initiatives there in place, the support has increased and the question has changed to why not a startup. When I told my parents about Dhwani, they were a bit apprehensive because I have been working for last 16 years and now suddenly want to jump into a different domain. But you won't believe the day the first episode was released, my mom has been checking for the number of views. And she's the one who updates me every day that you have these many views. So there's a complete change in perception, and I'm sure it is felt by the other younger generation where their parents are supporting them. And as you said, support is essential for any entrepreneur to strengthen the ecosystem. uh, there have been a lot of innovation challenges. Like there are a couple of grant challenges open right now for electric vehicles and onion processing. So
Yes.
each of these are published regularly. Are there any particular pointers that you would like to suggest to the innovators, startups, and researchers who might be applying to these or any other challenges? What are the pointers they should have in mind before they apply?
As an IP professional, I think it is very important for them to start IP protection early. They should not wait that we will start after 5 years, after 2 years, or when this happens or when that happens. Then another thing is they should apply only after searching for an existing IPR. So this way they can save their time and they can also save their resources. If they know that this is 75% chance and this is like 20% chance, and they just know which one to follow, which lead to follow. Then uh, if there is a search report is favorable for an IPR, then still I would say no person can guarantee you 100% outcome. The chance is only 75 to 80% because there's also publication lag. Some of the prior art search may not show up at the time of the search. And another thing, very important thing that I would like to tell them is that you must use your IPs. It's not that you got your registration and then you sit on it. Even for patents, you are required to submit a statement about whether your patent is being worked or not. And your trademark can also be challenged and removed if you don't use it. So using your IPs is very, very important.
Yeah, so this is a very useful tip, Deepika, that even after filing and receiving a granted IP, the journey doesn't stop there. One still needs to use it to maintain it, like you mentioned in case of patents and trademarks. So it's not just, getting an asset, but also utilizing it properly. So, Deepika, what do you think about entrepreneurship?
Yes, I've met so many entrepreneurs now,
Yeah.
including you. Yes, entrepreneurship I think is very challenging and it is almost life-altering experience. And one should make a decision only if your goals are clear and if you wish to make a change. Your goals should be clear. That is the first thing. The government is supporting the entrepreneurs through startup and MSME programs in a big way. There are so many schemes for them in every way, whether it is funding, IPR protection. They're helping in a big way. So the government is doing a lot for
Yeah, true.
entrepreneurship. So, Pooja, would you call yourself an entrepreneur?
No, Deepika, I am a host and a facilitator just trying to bring out stories through Dhrani to ensure that, the women who don't speak out too much uh, get a platform to share their story and let others get motivated from their stories and change the attitude from I can't do it to I can do it.
Yes, that's very important. Yes.
But talking about the change, Deepika, you made a shift from science to law. What are your takeaways from LLB? And if you can share a funny incident that might have happened with you.
Actually, at, at that point of time in my life when I was not into research and I was moving into IPR, then I followed it up with LLB. I think LLB was one of the best things to have happened to me. For me, it was almost like a match made in heaven. I mean, I used to really enjoy the classes, the discussions, and everything about it. And at that time, it was tough. LLB is quite tough actually. And I was already married, and my child was 2 years old. And the thing was that my father was totally against me doing LLB because, according to him, this is not a respectable profession. I'm using very mild words actually. But when he saw that I had never studied art subjects and I had family responsibilities and still I managed to get a fair result, then he stopped trying to talk me out of it. Now he does not say anything because this is now my profession. So he has accepted his fate.
And so, even there's a change in his perception, right? He's now supporting you.
Yes, kind of. Yes. Slowly he's understood that all LLB people are not LLBs about good things also.
Yeah. I think it's more about the way LLB has been projected, or the law professionals have been projected, that
Yes.
people have that image. So when I was a TIFAC alumni, I the first internship was with a law firm, and
Okay.
my grandfather had a similar image that you can't work with a law
Yes.
firm. So I had to
Exactly.
change it
Yes.
and change to another place. But now I think things are changing, and IP law firms are not considered as just law firms, and they're looked as more of a protector for innovations. So that's a plus point.
Yes. Yes. That's true. There's been a big change.
So Deepika, any funny incident that has happened, uh, related to law firms or the LLB, or in general, that you would like to share?
Actually, you know, I mean, you must also be aware that in our profession, we have to send so many emails, so much of paperwork, and so many office communications. So one day I was emailing my children's school fee receipts to my husband, and I started typing "Dear Sir." So it was when I was sending the email out, I realized that oh, I've typed "Dear Sir," so I corrected it then. But now it's become a cliche with us. So whenever I request something from him, I say "Dear Sir."
Yeah, but, Deepika, I am curious to know, if you had hit the send button, he had received that email, what would have been the response? Maybe you should ask him, how he
Yes,
would have responded.
he would have thought, "Oh, who is this writing to me?"
Yeah, and he would have double checked, who is this?
Yes, yes. If
But
it actually comes from my account or if it comes from someone else's account.
or he would have asked you, has somebody hacked your account?
Okay. Yes, yes.
But
But we
that
had a
is
good laugh about
interesting.
it.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing, and I'm sure whoever uh, would listen to this episode would relate with it. That most of the time we do end up doing such stuff, um, and I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much, Deepika, for sharing this. Deepika, thank you so much for sparing time with me. Um, it has been an interesting discussion, and I am sure the entrepreneurs have got useful insights from the conversation that we have had today. And I hope the ladies get the motivation to overcome the challenges, carve a new path for themselves.